So you've probably heard about AimPoint before. It's a way of reading greens. You might have seen Adam Scott doing it, some of the really well-known golfers. What's the statistics, Dee, that they've had so many wins around the world using AimPoint now?
AimPoint, we've got about, there's 4 to 5 of the world's #1 players used it. Justin Rose, Adam Scott, Stacey Lewis, Lydia Ko use AimPoint Express.
Okay.
The stat's really interesting. There's over 94 PGA Tour wins for people using AimPoint.
Wow, and it's basically a new way of reading greens, or an easier way. So today's video, Dennise is one of the only 2 certified AimPoint instructors in the whole of Sydney, and so we have gone straight to the expert, and we're going to find out what is AimPoint and does it actually work.
Yeah. Well, number one, AimPoint definitely works. The stats show that it works. Mark Sweeney, he was the developer of this. He's a mathematician, he's not a golf pro, and you might remember years ago they had live on the Golf Channel the charting of the putts.
Yes.
That was done live, and that was Mark Sweeney. So he won a Nobel Prize or something like that for his calculations in this. There was something like 10,000 algorithms to come up with that.
So it's a scientific way.
It's a very scientific way.
Of the greens.
Very scientific way, and I've been certified now for over 2.5 years, so I've done quite a few AimPoint clinics, but it's really funny, and I'm going to tell you this story just because I can. But I remember when I was on tour, and I was a good putter, as I've told our viewers all the time.
And
I was.
I can vouch for that.
But it used to be my ex-husband at the time, he would say to me, "Oh, Dennise, this is going to break left." And I'd go, "No, it's breaking right, John, it's breaking right." And he'd say, "How do you know?" Because I was always right.
Of course.
And I'd say, "Oh, I feel it in my feet." And I did feel it in my feet. And quite seriously, I used to think I'd been given some God-given talent from above to feel it in my feet.
And now here's AimPoint, which is
which is using your feet. Wow. So that's basically what AimPoint is doing. Yes, so I can give you a brief description of it.
So you're going to give us an overview.
Yeah, I'm going to give you an overview.
How
how it works, not how to do it totally, because you've got to come to my clinic for that. But
it would take too long for us to go.
It's about a 2-hour clinic.
You're personally calibrated.
Yep, you're personally calibrated.
But we wanted to give you an idea.
Exactly. So basically what AimPoint is doing, it's giving you a reading for the tilt. So it's only side tilt.
Right.
Not up and down. So
but that's easy to see. Up and down, isn't it?
Yeah, the most important thing is our eyes actually do lie to us.
Yes.
So the feet don't lie too much. So it's all side tilt, not up and down. Up and down tells you whether you're going up or down.
Yeah,
this side tilt, there's an exact calibration you get for the side tilt. So you might notice that we'll show later, there's all these little discs here.
They've got numbers on them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're on a bit of a down slope this way if you can't see.
Basically what we're doing is we're at right angles to it, and I'm getting a feeling for what this is. Now, with the AimPoint clinic, you know exactly what it is. It's a percentage, and you know what it will be, and that's what we learn at the clinic. And it's not too difficult. So we're getting, I feel a side tilt, and I go here, and I go, oh, less of a side tilt. And we go further up the slopes, because you generally get no more than a 5% generally. That's where it's. It's not degrees, it's percentage. And so what actually happens is, even if you're not perfect at this, so our viewers today, even if they don't do an AimPoint clinic, it would sort of help them get some idea of the side tilt, which is vital, because that's, it's really just side tilts, the gravity going.
Because some people say to me, "Oh, and I can't read greens." So maybe for those people, I don't believe them, because I think everyone can read to a degree. But I think for those people who think they can't read greens or don't feel confident, this might be a good system.
And Annie, it's really, that means I really like it, it's really good for those 3 and 4 footers in where you're not quite certain, because most of us underread putts anyway. So it kind of just makes you go, "Oh, I know that's left or right, it's a big amount, not a big amount," and your stroke improves as well, because you're more confident, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So there's a whole theory to it. So there's a different, so just here, we've done a gradient of what it is. So you get used to, and you need to continue to calibrate, getting used to what's this slope called.
And when you see Adam Scott, standing and doing that, essentially he's using his feet to look at the slope.
Yeah, so he's using his feet to know how far he has to aim. So let's say he decides, or it is a slope of 4, so Adam will put his hands in a certain position in relation to the hole.
And Dennise will teach you that if you come to her AimPoint.
Yeah, I'll teach you that. So there's a whole procedure you go through, but basically he would be saying, yes, this is a slope of 4. He holds his fingers up in a certain spot against the hole, and if it's going that way, he puts it here, and he knows he aims to the outside finger. So it gives him his starting line. But once again,
it's like cheating a little bit.
It is a little bit, but once again, you've got to have the right speed. So all these calibrations are on the perfect holing speed, which is like going 1.5 foot past or something like that. So that's a really important point to it. And then the other thing with it is you just don't get the read here. Depending on the length of the putt, you're going to get the read in certain positions along the for a longer putt.
Which is there's 2 breaks in it.
Yeah, because basically, that's a breaking putt. There's a really simple method for that, to get the breaking putt. But you need to take your measurements from a certain distance, if that makes sense.
So you stand in a
stand in a certain place.
So if you had to put it in a nutshell, what do you think is the best thing? What do you like the most about AimPoint as opposed to just the old-fashioned getting down low and having a look?
I love it because it's scientifically proven. I love it because it's mathematical.
Takes the guesswork out.
Takes the guesswork out. It's really, really, once you get it, it's a very simple method, but I see a lot of people trying to teach other people and they're missing some of the little ingredients, which then don't...
Does it take long to learn?
The session, no, I guarantee a 2-hour session that we do in a group, you will have the skill to learn. Like we did one at Bonnie-Doon 2 weeks ago. One of the guys came back, he shot his best score ever and his best putting score 2 days later.
Okay. So that's not long, so you don't have to practice it for ages or anything like that?
No, the 2 hours we practice it. So it's unlike a lot of clinics that we do. I promise you, you will know how to do this and you will be able to apply it within the 2 hours, which is quite amazing. But you do then have to continue to practice it, otherwise
like
it's a very pleasant 2 hours, nice G&T over, it's very pleasant. Dude, champagne, G&T.
Okay, so we've got a short putt.
So we got it's about 3.5 feet, 4 foot max.
4 foot
so this one I can actually do without having to, do anything really fancy. So I'm just going to stand over this putt. And I know it's a calibration of 3, so I know where to put my fingers, so I put up 3 fingers. Sometimes I don't even have to put up my 3 fingers, I just know after a while where they have to go. So I know it's 3, so I can see where I'm going to aim. I've done that. And this has kind of this is quite a lot of breaking putt. And what did I do wrong there? I hit it through the break.
Yeah. So you had the line.
So what's really good about this is, as I'm doing AimPoint, I simply say, well, that was the wrong speed. It was totally the wrong speed.
And so it's hard to be talking and putting. I'll give you that too.
Thanks. So I'm after the speed.
That's a better part. There's a good part. So Dee, would you say, because I don't know much about AimPoint, if you had to put it into like a sentence, it's like a scientific way of reading greens?
It's a scientific way of reading the side tilt. That's the important thing.
Which is what we need to know.
And AimPoint also do a great clinic which we can do on speed control as well, which is really perfect.
Speed control is so important even on the short one.
And our viewers might notice that there are so many players using AimPoint, but they're not putting up their fingers and things because they're not being paid. I don't mean putting up their fingers.
So what would you say to people though who are the average golfer who might feel a little bit self-conscious about, standing here? Because I get people say to me, I wouldn't want to use that because I'd be embarrassed to, which I know is silly in golf because you just want to use what works, right? Yeah. What would you say to those people who are a little bit self-conscious? Well, if you don't actually, eventually you want to put your fingers up, but it is not necessary to put your fingers up from the 4 foot and in. You just kind of can work out where it is after a while. Maybe the more you do it, the better you get.
So you kind of go, okay, a straight putt straight in the middle, and ones that, so you can just go that way. But the important thing is to continue to calibrate yourself. I have some students in the States who calibrate themselves every week. you know, because you forget what the slope is. So it's not hard. It just builds confidence. And to drop 5 or 6 shots off your putting score, just by doing a little bit of
well, that takes you from a 30 handicap to a 25.
Yeah,
that's decent.
Yeah,
difference.
absolutely.
Putting's so important, isn't it? I think confidence in your putting filters back through your whole game.
So you can imagine if I've got a really, this one is, well, that's 3, that's pretty big putt, but imagine if I've got a breaking putt like this of 4 or 5 and I know I've got to put it way out here for it to, just to know that you can do that and get the right holding speed is phenomenal. Like,
it takes a lot of guesswork out, which is what kills a lot of.
and you know what the average stat says, sorry viewers, but the average stat says that most amateur golfers are trying to hole putts, like breaking putts, side tilt putts like this, and they end up 3-putting.
Yeah, because you can very easy run it fast.
So the important thing is that this putt is either going to go in or you're not going to do any worse than a 2-putt. And I think that's very nice to know.
Well, thanks for explaining it all.
No, and I look forward to seeing the viewers at the next
we'll put some information in our description about how, if you wanted to, you can come along to one of these AimPoint clinics and learn how to do it yourself. Thanks, Dee.
Thanks, Annie.
Greg, we just did an AimPoint clinic. How did you find it at Bonnie-Doon?
Terrific, yeah. It's taken guesswork out of my putting, and it's allowed me to work on something. It's allowed me to use something that I can have confidence in on the golf course.
Great. And was it complicated or simple, would you say, in the end?
Very simple.
Yeah. Just getting a system and sticking to the system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It should give you confidence on the course.
Yeah. And would you say the one good thing about this particular clinic is you actually get a result, or you can do
100%. You can see it straight away as soon as you start using it. You can calibrate and find out exactly how easy it is,
Fantastic. Thanks for coming along, Greg, and keep me posted on how well you're putting.
Thank you.
Do you want to do a short?
Yeah, let's do a short one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Shall we go on over? Well, that was very formal. I think there's some break here. Let me just see how much we'll cheat to get this happening. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Did you really? Yeah. So maybe we can show that one going in.
Yeah.
If I don't get this one.
That was a shocking part, that one.
Don't tread on the aim point.